Today's the day. I was planning on maybe actually trying to head to this antique auction yesterday, but one thing led to another. Yes, and I were battling machinery the whole day. Didn't end up happening. Today is the last viewing day of the auction before the auction begins next week. So today, everyone is allowed to come see the pieces, like maybe ask questions about them. I mean, I'm kind of new to this world, so this is just what I read online. But then next week, once everyone's kind of like picked their favorites, you go in at different days for different sections. So like one day it's maybe paintings, another day it's maybe furniture, and then maybe another day it's like focused on China. I'm not 100% sure. We'll be finding out more when I'm there. So today's the last viewing day. It's Sunday, so I imagine it's going to be a little bit busier than if we went on a Friday or perhaps even maybe on a Saturday, but that's fine. So we're just going to have a little bit of a look around. I'm shopping for the whole house, so I'm just going to keep my eye out a little bit for anything that might be interesting. And then we will see on auction day, which I believe for furniture, which is what I'm looking for, it's on Monday, so tomorrow. So if there's anything interesting, we will be going back and maybe placing some bids. We will see. But I'm just kind of going there open-minded. Bigger pieces of furniture. We have obviously all the bedrooms to do, the dining room, the office. I'm still shopping for like the breakfast room here. There's a couple of different things. Before we do head though, I wanted to show you into the winter garden room because you guys saw I was looking at some cushion samples. They arrived, the cushions that is. And I also bought two really cute antique coffee tables for in there. I'm just gonna show you. Right, let me show you. Now these cushions were actually, oh my God, it's boiling in here. These cushions were originally meant to be for the other, for the main living room, and they might still go there. I've just popped them here for now, just because in there it's a little bit of a mess at the moment. So I was like, okay, I'll just place them here. I still don't know how I want to have them arranged, and definitely I underestimated the size. I underestimated a little bit like the size of our other couch, so I'm gonna have to buy more. But you guys get to see them a little bit in real life right now. This is just a random one I had that I popped in here for now. I know a lot of you guys were really excited about this one, and it's actually much nicer in person. I've got the shade down on this side because the sun was coming in, but then you can see the other couch there. And then I've got these two, they look quite big on camera actually, but in the room they fit really nicely. I've got these two kind of antique coffee table. They're quite like unique pieces, which I really liked. And they fit quite nicely in here. Also, when you're sitting on the couch, it looks quite nice. I'm still thinking if I want to stain them dark or not. We will have to see about that. But overall, I'm pretty happy with this. Let me give you guys a little bit of a better look from further back. Then you get to see the room is still a little bit empty, and I still want to add a couple of things. I need to decorate the coffee tables and stuff, and make a final decision on the cushions. But overall, very, very happy. I do actually need to close this because I am gonna be leaving now. Hold on. Close that up. I typically have it open when it's sunny because otherwise this room gets so hot that the plants start to suffer. Like you can see here, they start to get a bit burnt. I am sweating, boiling. So we're gonna head over there now. I'm just gonna let the dogs out. We're gonna head over there and hopefully we find some nice pieces. Okay, I've just arrived and there is a bunch of stuff for us to look at. So I'm gonna try and be discreet here because there's a lot of other people hate vlogging in public. But I'm gonna show you guys there's loads of stuff, like loads. I don't even know where to start. So I'm just gonna video and we're gonna look around. So typically I really don't mind vlogging in public, but I was feeling a little extra shy today. So I'm gonna do a voiceover. But there was a lot to look at. And what I always like about antique places, stores, markets is that you find really unique pieces you're not going to find at anybody else's house, pieces that are not trending and going to be out of style in 10 years. So I always keep my eye out when I go to these kind of places for anything that I'm like, ooh, that's interesting, or that's a talking point, or that's something that's going to be, you know, it's going to age really well. And I wasn't looking for anything specifically, like I said, coming here. I was just kind of open-minded to seeing what would catch my eye. Now, this secretaire table caught my eye because because I bought something that looks exactly like this already, which is going to go into our office. I already have it. And one big thing I'm after is artworks. So I started to take a look at some of these kind of farm scenes they had. I like artwork that is a little bit more like oil paintings, that has a little bit of shine to it, a little bit of realism. This console table I also really liked. I like this kind of metal detail it had on the back. And then this Dutch kind of vitrine closet as well is something that I thought could look maybe really nice in the breakfast room. I was just taking the number here so I would remember. But this kind of oak would go really well with the other oak console we have here in the breakfast room. Now, China is not something I'm really shopping for at the moment, but they did have a lot of Delft China at this particular auction. I had a little look around, but as I said, it's not something that I'm really shopping for. But I always keep an eye out because you never know. Then there was a bunch of little different memorabilia and different things in this section. But I think going into this, I was looking more for big pieces. Also, how cool is this like birdhouse? Not that I think anyone's going to put a bird in it, but as a decorative piece, it's kind of fun. More little console tables and artworks. This console table I actually really liked. I liked this kind of like a metal detail it also had in the back. Here I was taking the number just in case I wanted to put a bit in it later on. Here there's some more furniture. These furniture pieces are quite big. I don't think I'm looking for anything that large for the house. And sometimes this shiny mahogany reminds me of like cherry wood that you have in the interiors of old boats. And I don't know why that just doesn't, I don't love that personally for what I'm kind of going for. I did, however, spot something in the left-hand corner of this room. If you guys know, 𝒋𝒐𝒍𝒍𝒐𝒘 really wants a baby grand piano. And this one actually was beautiful. I love the brass detailing in the middle of it. And it was polished black wood. It was really, really beautiful. I showed you guys around a little bit. I will have done a voiceover, so you guys will hear my thoughts a little bit already. But some cool things, but not exactly the vibe I'm going for. Especially some of the stuff was like old, like, but not like gram old a little bit, and that's fine. Some people love that. It's not really the aesthetics I'm going for precisely. There was like a couple of other floors upstairs, but they were not antique. It was more like Art Deco, all that kind of stuff, which to me is a complete no. So I went up and I went down. So it was a bit of a miss. I need to take you guys to this really huge antique store. I mean, it's not even a store. It's this huge warehouse I go to. That's like 45 minutes from where I live. But that's a place we need to go together, because there I always typically can find something, and there's so much to look at. But anyway, it was still good to come here and see this place. But I have the videos. I took a couple of photos of some things that I was like, okay, I'll keep that in the back of my mind. But there's nothing there that I was like, okay, I love this. And that's okay. That's part of antiquing. Sometimes you've got your finds and sometimes you don't. It has started to rain now. I think it will probably thunder at some point because the humidity is so high and the temperature is so high. For now, I'm heading home and we will catch back up later. We're back, we're home. I was just outside and I thought, let me film this. So we have one here and one in the back, but these robot mowers are from a brand called 𝒋𝒐𝒍𝒍𝒐𝒘, and they have single-handedly been looking after our lawns. They are just both running now. I've set them to go every 2 days at this time. It's around like 1 o'clock. That's when they begin. This one is the 𝒂𝐎𝐻 model. And then the other one is the 𝒂𝒑𝒏 2. Let me just show you. Hold on. Here it is. This is a bit more like the all-terrain model, whilst the 𝒂𝐻𝐻 I think is better suited to more kind of like formal gardens. So in this part of the house right here, everything is much straighter, much more level. But out here, it's kind of like a little bit in the woods. So that's why this 𝒂𝒑𝒏 2 is much better suited. Now, these don't work with any cables in the ground. They work purely off of satellites. And the great thing about these mowers is that they mow in basically every direction you want, whether you want straight lines, diamond cut, chessboards. You have every single option to pick from. And that's kind of the thing that stopped me from ever getting robot mowers before, is I didn't like the chaotic lines that would kind of go everywhere. They would get stuck all the time. And I thought, okay, I'm just gonna really wait. And when the right product comes along, I'm going to invest. So I bought my very first 𝒂𝒏 I think it was 2 years ago when we were renting the stables where we were before, and I was using that one to maintain all the lawns around the outdoor arena. The horses got used to it really quick because it's super quiet, so I never had any issues with them. And it did such an amazing job. And I just bought that with my own money. And then by the divine universe and how it works, 𝒋𝒐𝒍𝒍𝒐𝒘 reached out to me and they said, hey Matt, we'd like to support you at your new place with a couple more mowers. And I was like, isn't that just fantastic? Because we obviously have such a big place to mow now. And what we've been able to do with partnering with 𝒋𝒐𝒍𝒍𝒐 is that, let me turn around, but all of the walking and canter tracks and everywhere where there's going to be grass, it's all going to be fully maintained by the robot mowers by 𝒋𝒐𝒍𝒍𝒐. Now you guys will have seen in my past videos that I also have a big mower. Now this is for leaf pickup, like really intensive big leaf pickup. Every now and then I'll give things a mow with a big mower just to tidy things up, and that's not necessary. These mowers do everything, but I'm just super fanatic about this kind of stuff. And I enjoy having a large ride-on mower as well. But these mowers by themselves are more than capable of taking care of everything all the time, all year round. Having a robot mower is the best thing for your grass because it cuts off such a small amount of grass and so often that it really encourages your lawns to thicken up. And because the decks are so small compared to a normal mower, you get that perfect golf course-like finish as well. Now enough faffing, let's get the mower out and we're going to do a quick install, and we should be able to see a quick before and after of how it mows that whole space. I haven't mowed it for a few days because I knew I was going to be doing this soon, but we've got some time today, so let's get it out. Right, it's actually 2 days later. We ended up getting, the humidity was so high and then we got rained out. There was like a thunderstorm that just rolled in. And I was like, I'm gonna save this project for a day where it's not pouring down rain and lightning to be outside. So it's a brand new day. This overcast weather has kind of stayed, but it's actually been very much welcomed. Now, I wanna show you a couple of things. So we've got some work to do here in the garden. Firstly, okay, wait, I'm gonna show you guys the windows to the barn because I think you're gonna be shook when you see how they've turned out so far. There's something else that has happened to the barn, but I'm saving that for kind of like a barn video I'm generating at the moment. But I'm gonna give you a sneak peek at what these windows are looking like because they are done with the headstone. That is what the windows are looking like. Isn't that beautiful? So there's going to be, going into this is exactly this shape. So it's been made to size and it's going to have like a clear window opening in and out, but you guys will be seeing that in a video coming up. But how beautiful did it come out? I've learned now that this is called a keystone in the middle, but I'm really happy with how these windows have all turned out. And if I pan a little bit this way for you, you will see that they all match and they all have the keystone. How pretty is this? Can you imagine, guys? I mean, it's hard to believe this is our place, but when we will have our horses home all sticking their heads out of here, it's going to be pretty magical. What I also did yesterday is I came in and trimmed up all of this ivy growing on here. And the ivy is a little bit of a bigger conversation at the moment because we're trying to see how much of these exterior walls we have to fix. This wall seemed pretty good and I didn't want to strip everything of the ivy, so this one I decided for now is going to stay. It's just going to stay a little bit trim like this. If I may say so myself, I think I actually did a little bit of a better job out this way. You can see that it's shaped quite nicely. I don't know, I feel like if I strip it all, it's going to look very naked. I would like to get some climbing roses at one point to start going here on the outside as well, and do some landscaping here in the front too. But what I have done is I've cut all of this ivy. So one thing that I've learned from one of my previous gardeners in the past at our old house is that with ivy, you kind of want to get down to the stump and cut them just at the root. And then what you will do is you'll wait like 1 or 2 months, the plant will completely die, and then it's much easier to peel off. I saw a lot of you guys commenting that we should get the ivy off, and I agree, but it is such a mammoth of a project and we've had so many things on, it kind of hasn't happened yet. I've done the exact same thing with this ivy as well, all been cut underneath. You'll be able to see that here. It's so funny because the leaves and everything are already turning a little bit. They're not like a glossy deep green anymore. They're starting to go this little bit like washed out yellow color. So it's happening. We're going to be pulling all of this off. So you guys are going to be seeing this in a future video. I think it's going to be very satisfying. I've also, all this has been cut off, and around the side that way, everything's been cut off too. So this whole facade will be clean. And then I was thinking, how pretty would it be to have like a really huge rambling rose coming up all through here on both sides and having a huge show of roses every year. I think that would be beautiful. So I'm very, very excited to maybe do something like that. And roses are not like climbing into the mortar and ruining everything. And because I might do a rambling rose, then I don't have to prune them or anything. I can just let them do their thing. So very excited about that. So this whole area here will start shaping up pretty quick, bit by bit, chipping away at it. Now I've got the cart ready because we're going to be doing this install. You can see the doors are starting to be worked on, everything's starting to get sanded so they can get painted. Now through here, this is like our storage area. But this is where we've been keeping all of our, hold on. This is where we've been keeping all of our spare mowers. There is a whole army, actually, of mowers in here. But today we're going to be picking just one of them. As I told you guys already, the theory is that actually the whole property will be maintained by these robot mowers. And then I will do supplemental mowing with the big one around the schedule when I have time, just to maybe pick some stuff up when the leaves fall and all that kind of things. But that is extra because realistically these mowers will do everything. The biggest one we have is the 10,000, so that looks after 1 hectare worth of grass. So this is the one we're going to be taking and setting up today. There is, I mean, right now we're looking after, with our mowers right now are looking after, let's say 5,000 meters squared of grass, which is a bit. But by the time we are done with everything, I think the mowers will be looking after 2 to 3 hectares altogether, which is a huge amount. But first, I'm gonna do a test trial out there and see how it goes because the lawn is very long out there. So I'm just gonna take this out, pop it on our electric car, and we're gonna head out there and start to install. Goodness, she's a beast. Woo. Right. Now that I'm dusty everywhere, let's go. Luckily, the setup is pretty easy with the Louba 2. There are just 2 components that need to get screwed on, and then you're basically operational and ready to go. Last thing to do is I just had to set up the charging station, plugging it in, screwing it down, and we were all set. Right, now that the mower has been installed, it's been charging, I gave it a little bit of time. It's kind of hot now, actually. Oh, one thing before we start, for the sake of this portion of the video, I put this shirt on. There will be hints when people visit me and they see me in this. They will know what's going on. You have 2 options when it comes to creating a task area. You can do it manually, or you can let the Louba mower do it by itself through satellites. I prefer to do it manually because I can really pinpoint exactly where I want it to go inside of the boundaries. Once this was finished, I made a no-mow zone or no-go zone area around the veggie patch. That's where I don't want the Louba to be mowing. Well, now that the whole map has been completed and the no-go zone has been completed as well, I'm ready just to launch him and send him off to mow. Now, there's a lot of different settings that I can pick from the height of mow to the type of cut, whether I want to cut in straight lines, whether I want to cut diagonally. I mean, I can pinpoint to 1 degree which way I want it to cut. I'm gonna cut straight up and down to the house. So I'm gonna use the same degree I cut on the other side. That way, when you look out from the house, you see the straight lines from the house, which I always really like. Because the grass is quite long, it will probably need a double cut. So we might go for a chessboard pattern, and that means that it cuts one way and then it goes 90 degrees the other way and does a second cut, and you get a really nice chessboard. But there's a lot of different settings you can pick from. So it's just about picking the one that you like best visually. Whichever one you choose, it will cut well either way. This whole area that I have here is 1,600 meters squared. It's gonna take 185 minutes for it to mow the whole thing. It's time for its maiden voyage. 190 minutes. I need to double check the height. I've set it to 60 mil. So we're gonna have to see how that looks because the grass is quite tall here and I don't wanna cut it too low. While the robot mower does its thing, because it will take some time, and it might, as I said, need actually 2 passes in order to get it all really well, I wanted to start to work on this ivy. I showed you guys the ivy that I've cut down over there, but I feel like the ivy on this wall has gotten far too big. I mean, wait, I'll let you take a look at that. I will go stand down under it for perspective. I mean, the ivy has been growing here for many, many years. Some of the stems look like almost like little tree branches. Maybe this gives a little bit more perspective. And this is putting a lot of weight on the wall, but also a lot of these little roots are working their way into the mortar and between the bricks. So what I wanted to do today is cut it all right back, and then we will see whether we eradicate it completely, but the first step is getting rid of the bulk of it all. I want to uncover this wall again, and maybe we will be doing some other fun climbing things that are not as invasive as this. Again, maybe some roses, maybe some climbing hydrangeas, maybe some clematis. We can do a bunch of different stuff, and there's a decent amount of light that comes in through here, but I feel like this is really starting to overpower the wall and kind of really taking over. So I'm gonna grab my tools, and then we're gonna see a little bit how we can go about this. There is actually part of like a honeysuckle growing in there, but we're just gonna have to take it all back. I will give you a better look under here at what we're dealing with. It's quite an established network, but we will just have to go bit by bit and see how it goes and if my machine can handle it and what we can uncover and what we can do. What I am slightly worried about is that this beech arbor is gonna be slightly naked because it's had like so much shade for so long. So we're gonna have to see a little bit how that's looking when we get up there. Alrighty, let's begin. Good morning. It's a big day today because we have a red carpet event we're going to be attending at CHIO Aachen. We're going for the Media Night and opening ceremony. There's a small red carpet beforehand, so it's all stations go in preparations for that. Clearly, I am not red carpet ready. I've done a couple of red carpets in my life, like GQ Man of the Year and some other events. Haven't been to one in a while. So it should be pretty fun. We obviously have to get suited up, so we're just gonna go pick a suit in a moment. However, in the time between I spoke to you last and now, hold on, there's a bit of an echo in there, but from the time that I spoke to you last and now, our office room is getting finalized, and I wanted to show you guys. You might remember what this room looked like from our tour, and a lot has happened in here. All of the wood has been restored. The half paneling has been done in this room. We will be doing a wallpaper in between the picture rail and the half panel, so there will be that going on there, but everything has had a fresh coat of paint, including everything on this side as well. I'll give you guys a little bit of a better view like this. Not 100% sure if this, I think you guys will have seen from when I went antiquing that I looked at something like this, because we already owned this secretary table, which is quite nice. But I'm not sure if this more higher gloss mahogany works or not. So we're gonna have to see in the end if this stays or not. But we will see. But this room is coming together. As I said, the wallpaper needs to come in, but everything has been painted. The floors have all been redone. They all got sanded back, restained. And also the ceiling has all been painted and it's looking really good. We obviously don't have a light in here. We just have one light bulb. But the feeling in this room, it just feels amazing in here. And because all the walls and everything is so clean at the moment, you really get to appreciate the light coming in from outside and also the views out. It just looks very airy and peaceful in here. I am very excited about having an office again. Right now our stuff is spread a little bit everywhere, and I like to have a space that I can go to do my work, rather than being like in the living room or in the kitchen or somewhere else. Just having the one space that you go to, you get your work done, you get in, you get out. So I have to find like a really nice big table for here, because Yes and I want to find like a partner's desk. So that's a desk that you can sit on either side of. We're gonna go for something antique. I actually found one I really like. I'm just waiting to hear what Yes thinks on it too. So yeah, so this room is coming together. I wanted to show you guys before we went to look at suits. But usually how it goes with these events when you do a red carpet is you can either obviously dress yourself, or you can have the brand dress you. So when I've done red carpets in the past, I was actually always dressed by Emporio Armani, which was really nice. So you typically go into one of the stores or one of the headquarters, you have a fitting, all that kind of stuff, and you get the stuff to wear, and then you send it back when you're finished. This year, however, I'm dressing myself, so I want to show you guys what the options are for now. I'm in one of the guest bedrooms right now, and I can only describe this space as, do you know in Harry Potter there's the room of requirements, which is basically like where all of the stuff of Hogwarts gathers? That's what this room is. We have a menagerie of different things. It's also where we like put our clothes to dry. We've got the ironing board, there's a bunch of stuff, it's a mess. That's why I'm showing you just this tiny corner. But here we have a clothing rack, and it's got a couple of options in it. I actually need to check, because I think predominantly most of these options are for Jesse and not for me, because we still, this is terrible, but we still haven't unpacked all of our stuff. So I still have like 1 or 2 boxes full of my suits somewhere in one of the attics. But I would prefer not to have to go rummage through that. So we're gonna take a look at this. Anything in here that tickles my fancy. Right off the bat, all of these suits are Yes's. I know he already wore this one for one of the other CHIO Aachen openings. So these are all actually not mine. Actually, maybe this one might be. No, this is also his. I think I might have to go and investigate and find that box. I did, however, find there was a suit I haven't used yet, and I did find that one. It was actually meant to be for another event, but I have these last minute changes of mind, and I ended up going for something else. But I will show you this one. It's green. Obviously, this is like, the event we're doing today is formal, and it's nighttime. So I'm not sure if green's like very appropriate. Also, it's a boiling day here today. Let me get this light thing out of here. Hold on. You can see a little bit what's going on with this suit. She's green. This is the tie. It's kind of cute because it's got like these dogs on it. I always like a bit of a pattern on the thing. The shirt itself is striped green as well. So but I think for these nighttime events, it's much nicer to have like a striped blue or a navy or something like that. That's a little bit more elegant than something like this. So I might have to go look into the archives and see what we have. This is giving me more like daytime races or like polo or something like that. So I might have to go look and find where all of my suits are because I'm not 100% feeling this. We do, however, have it as an option. I don't know. What do you think? Is this gonna work? I mean, it's kind of difficult to picture with a hat on. I don't know. I think it's maybe not smart enough. We might need to... I'm gonna go look for another option. I'm not sure if you guys have ever seen our attic, but this is one of them. And this is where we have like a bunch of storage in here. And somewhere, you probably think, Matt, you probably know which box it's in. I do not. I know no such thing. So somewhere in here are like some of my suits. So I'm gonna have to climb up there and see if I can figure it out. I hope that it's not going to be a very difficult search. Oh, you're kidding me. You are kidding me. Here's some of them. Okay, wait. I think I found the jackpot, guys. I think I found the jackpot. All right, let's have a look. Who do we have here? Oh, this is to daytime as well. This is a check suit I wore to the wedding of I was the best man for one of my friends' wedding. It's really nice actually. And tie is really fun. It's a 3-piece also. It's far too warm to be wearing a 3-piece. But you can see the tie. Tie is really fun. It's got a nice pocket square. But it's going to be far too warm for all of this. So this is a no. This is an immediate no. We're not doing that. For some people, it's like I feel like they feel very out of place in a suit if it's something they're not used to. And I did so much suiting as a model when I was young, also when I was doing shows and all that kind of stuff. So for me, it actually feels very like, I feel very comfortable in a suit and it makes me feel good. It's not something that like I doubt myself in. It's something that when I put on a suit, I feel like, okay, yeah, this feels right. I know for some people they feel a bit like odd in a suit, and I mean that makes sense. And also the lucky thing about me is I never really have to get suits tailored because I'm the exact 48 size suit. Oh no, this is something else. This is a full-on tailcoat for like white tie. So we don't need that. Okay. Getting mildly concerned now because where's everything else gone? Hold on, where are all my suits gone now? Because I had a beautiful... Okay, these are some random miscellaneous suit pants. Okay, that's not it. Are these only like random pants in here? I mean, we're getting tie options. Let's keep some of these ties. These are all tie options that could be useful. But where's the actual suits? This is... Oh, this is my old writing. This is not the right box. We have not found the right box. I've actually come through to the realization that that green suit is perfect. That may be because I cannot find the box with all my other suits. But honestly, it will do. And I'm gonna match it with these, I've got these like loafers, these brown loafers. Oh, maybe I need to bring a belt just in case. But I mean, those pants fit me perfectly, but maybe it's nice to have a belt. But we should be ready to go. So what's gonna happen now is we gotta drive first to the hotel. I'm wet. I'm like sweating beyond belief. Then at the hotel, we're gonna shave, shower, all that kind of stuff, get dressed. and then we head to the venue, and I'm gonna bring you guys so you guys get to see us going, doing the little red carpet, seeing the opening ceremony and all that kind of stuff. You guys are gonna get to see it. But first we need to go, and we've got the drive to go. So I'm gonna pack, I'm gonna do all this kind of stuff, and we will regroup in the car because it's just too warm to be vlogging and talking and trying to pack and not forget anything. So we'll regroup when we are in the car. Well, Yes is here, and so is Kim. The girls are here.
Of course, I'm driving.
Actually, how dare you? I just drove basically us there, and now we swapped because I said I have to vlog a little and keep them up to date. So now you're in the passenger seat. I hope you still know how to work this vehicle. But we have made our way. It's currently 30. Okay, it says 39 on the car, but that's not possible. That's really not possible. I think it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 36, 37 degrees outside. It's boiling hot. We have about 45 minutes to go.
43.
Yeah, and Yes has picked out his suit as well. Kim's picked out her dress.
I just don't have my bow tie.
But it's not bow tie vibes.
It is. You've never been.
No,
they
it's not.
Told
no.
me because people were
the suit
there.
you're wearing as well is not bow tie vibes.
That's how I bought it.
Well,
with them, the people that know how this event works, they have a stand there, and they dressed me up like 2 years ago.
You were dressed?
Yes.
By who?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, what is it called?
By Inonta.
Oh, I don't remember.
I mean, I still have to pay, but I got some discount.
Okay, well, we have all of our outfits already. I'm excited to shave and to just kind of present myself. I asked yesterday, I said, why don't you do something like different with your hair instead of like the Justin Bieber swoop? Why don't you do something else? So maybe we might get a new person tonight. Huh?
Like what? Maybe like this?
No, not like that. Something with a bit of volume swoop is back, I think would look nice, no?
Yeah, let me just whip that up in 1 hour or half an hour.
Well, yes, I decided that it would be the perfect time, an hour, not even, less than an hour before we've left to go clean this whole car.
Yeah, because I just heard that we had to go in my car and there was all cement in my car.
So basically we're running late because of yes, so that's
not true.
The moral
we
of the story.
Half an hour later, and I told you 1 is fine too.
Half an hour makes all the difference.
Yeah, if you
as all of everyone watching at home will know.
And then he decided he had to stuff his face and not drive.
Well, we all had to eat something at one point, or did we want to just faint with this heat on an empty stomach? Right. No, but it will be fun. We'll definitely make the most of it, and at least the thing is everyone's in the same boat. It's not just gonna be us looking like we just jumped in a pool. So it will be fine. Barely had any time. We've barely had any time. Not this overhead lighting ruining everything. But we're in.
Yeah, looks good.
You look nice. I like that your hair is a little bit more wild. Looks good. I just went for like a little bit more of a tidy, sat down look.
Alexander.
I went for a cleaner tie. All right, let's go.
We're at the reception.
We're going. We're checking out. So we just checked out. We basically checked into the hotel for what, 1 hour? Just to basically shower and get dressed. And now we're heading to Kim's hotel, picking her up, and then we have a shuttle, or like a driver from the event, who's picking us up and bringing us there. But this is...
I think I will have up a little sweat.
I think so. It's boiling hot, but this is the fit. This is what we're dealing with. She's snazzed up. Woo! Oh my god, the sun hits. She's a superstar. Who is she? Can I have an autograph? Hold on. Let me get a from the front. Always, yes, I always know someone, no matter where he goes. Here we are. Oh, okay. Here we are. This is the official entrance of Aachen. Hi.
Hi, Matt.
How are you? Hi.
Fine, how are you?
Good, warm.
The first time at the media night?
For the media night, yeah.
So good all in.
Yes, I will, and it's the Spanish night, and I only have Spanish horses, so I think it will
Perfect fit? Könnt ihr einmal hier schauen?
Want a photo as well?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Maybe we can get one ourselves here now.
We just had a quick bite to eat. It was mildly cooler in there, which was nice. And now we're just going to our seats. And
It's
then,
very good outside now.
I mean, it's humid as hell. But we're now heading to the tribune where we will sit down and enjoy the opening ceremony of the show, which
I
is
wonder what you think. You've seen the ending. I've never seen the ending.
I've seen like the final goodbye, and it's really cool because everyone like pulls out a tissue and is like waving a tissue in the air, but it's like thousands of people.
I'm doing that now for myself.
Yeah, pat down that sweat. But with the opening ceremony, one country celebrated every single year, and this year it's Spain, so it's full of Spanish horses in the opening ceremony, which I find so fitting for me to be here. No, I already know because Lily told me. And also those were the people I met inside were Spanish breeders, and they have their horses in here in the show, in the opening ceremony.
How are you?
Yeah. Sorry, we got sidetracked there. But yeah, so Spain's being celebrated. The night's going to be full of PREs. There's a whole show celebrating Spain, celebrating Aachen and everything. So we're just going to find our seats now, and the show will begin 8 o'clock.
Yes.
In 1 minute.
Oh my god.
But I think it will be later. Maybe it's more than I'm walking because everybody's still out.
But
we'll go.
We're gonna head.
Okay, let's-
Either way, we're gonna head. Turn into a concert. The opening ceremony has. Oh, bless you. Sorry. The opening ceremony is just finished.
I do have to say, I don't know, but they do really next level. I've been here a few times, but it's just crazy the amount of people involved in everything they do.
Yeah, it was very impressive. And I love that every year they showcase something else in the horse world just by changing the country that's bringing in different culture and traditions and ways horses have been used.
And they just make it a party.
It was,
Yes.
well, the Spanish definitely made it a party, that's for sure. We're gonna go get a quick drink now.
No, wait.
What is it?
Over there.
Oh yeah, they're all lined up out there. Oh, maybe we can get a better look at that.
Oh, okay, sure. Consíguete la foto con los caballos.
We're back in the car. We're making a quick escape. There's always like a big nighttime party. Yes, is here. There's always a really big nighttime party that happens, but we have to get back to the horses and everything and the dogs and stuff. So even though my brother's home, we have some appointments. And we have some appointments early tomorrow morning as well, so it just makes sense for us not to get completely trashed and wasted. The funny thing that did happen, however, is while we were sitting down for the opening ceremony, there was this man next to us who was sitting next to 𝒋𝒐𝒍𝒍𝒐𝒘. It was 𝒋𝒐𝒍𝒍𝒐𝒘, me, and then Kim. And then there was this man sitting next to 𝒋𝒍𝒍𝒐𝒘, and he turned to both of us and he goes, "Oh, I know you guys from Instagram. We were just talking about you guys last week. I'm the manager of," what's his name?
Lou Vega.
Lou Vega?
I think Lou Vega. Vega.
I'm the manager of Lou Vega. And then he's like, "Do you know him?" And I said, "No, sir, I don't." And then he said, "Do you know this song?" What was the song called?
Mambo number 5.
Mambo number 5.
Mambo number 5. And I said, "Sir, I've got no idea what you're talking about." And you knew the song.
Of course, I think everybody knows the song.
And then I turned to Kim and I said, "I don't know this song."
You
Blah, blah,
have
blah.
good memories on the
And
song.
then later wait, how does the song go again?
I don't know.
No, how does the song go?
I'm not going to do it.
No,
A little bit of Monica.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, a little bit of. Is it Money or Monica?
Monica.
Oh.
It's all the girls' names.
is all I need. It was like 26 years ago that this song came out, but the man was sitting next to us.
He's still performing every time, everywhere.
I know, and then I said, yes, how cool is that you have one hit? Well, maybe he had more, I don't know, but you have one hit song and 26 years later you're still being invited to events. I mean, he got his money's worth out of that song, that's for sure. But the opening ceremony and everything was really, really cool and we really enjoyed it. I will be going back for the main weekend of Aachen, of CHIO Aachen this week. So today is Tuesday?
Yes.
No, yeah, today's Tuesday.
Only for 13 minutes left.
Oh yeah, it's nearly midnight. But I will be going back for the main weekend. But until then, I've got stuff to finish at the house and horse stuff and getting prepared for the outdoor arena to go in. That's going in next week. And I've got gardeners coming to the house tomorrow morning. So there's just lots of things I need to get buttoned up before I can leave. So now we head home, we head back. But it was fun.
It's really nice.
We nearly melted, but it was fun.
What are we doing here?
Look who's joined us. I thought it would be nice for the before and after for 𝒋𝒐𝒍𝒍𝒐 to come join us. So you could also, because you don't notice these things, so then I could maybe show you. It was so funny. It's been a couple of days since you guys have seen the huge amount of ivy come off that wall. And I wasn't home when 𝒋𝒐𝒍𝒍𝒐 arrived. And I texted him and I said,
It was dark.
hold that thought. I texted him and I said, oh, did you notice that all the ivy's gone? Oh no, I didn't see it. He's like, it was dark, I didn't see it. I said, okay, no problem. Then the next morning, when he had already been out with the dogs, I said, did you notice the ivy gone? He had walked past it, mind you. He goes, no, I didn't see it.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention. I was
That
thinking about other
that
things.
keen eye for detail strikes again. But that's why we can look at the before and after together. I'm gonna spin you guys around.
Oh, the girls.
The dogs are dogging. But lead the way, bring us down, 𝒋𝒐𝒍𝒍𝒐.
What is the ivy actually? Done?
Yes, 𝒋𝒐𝒍𝒍𝒐. Also, all the hedges have been done. This year I got a company to come in to do it because this thing is humongous and it actually looks so much better. So you guys haven't seen all of this neatness happening here. Oh, little spoiler there. But
I like that this is like wider again.
this is the after, and honestly, now that I've lived with it for a few days especially, I'm so happy to have this wall uncovered.
It was quite large.
It was way too big. And from the other side, which I'm going to show you guys in a second, it made such a big difference. Look at this hedge.
This mosquito really got you on the vein in the neck.
Yeah, I know. It was very unfortunate. So I was very worried removing this piece of ivy that this was going to be completely bald. Luckily, it was not, although it does have to thicken up a bit more, which is fine. It'll take 1 or 2 seasons and then it will...
But this will grow back too, no?
Yeah, so I think we need to either keep it maintained now or completely eradicate it from the root. The only thing I'm quite concerned about...
No.
Well, the only thing I'm quite concerned about is because this network is so big and some of it is in the mortar. I think if we actually try and remove it, it might break some of the bricks.
I think we leave it, it's kind of nice, no?
Yeah, we just have to keep it maintained. And I want to get rid of this piece growing up here.
Why?
And
No, that's nice.
Why?
Well, I think it gives a bit more, otherwise you have one big wall, and this gives a bit, you have a lot more
Yeah,
wall.
but I wanted to put something else climbing on the wall that has flowers. Like a climbing hydrangea could be really nice, some clematis. Yeah, clematis, roses, we could do anything here. Something pretty, something with a fragrance. Honeysuckle, there was already some honeysuckle growing there, but I had to remove it. Yeah.
Okay.
But bring us through to the other side. I want to show them the other side. How
There?
that... No, through here.
I'll come through this portal.
Follow 𝒋𝒐𝒍𝒍𝒐 through.
Ow, spikes.
Oh, someone else is coming.
Oh!
But it's made the biggest difference back here because before there was this giant wall of ivy here and it was so dark, and now there's so much more light and air flowing
To
through
be honest,
here.
I don't even know how you did it. I haven't fully watched your videos because I think I was in the car when you sent them.
Well, oh yeah, that's true. I did send you the videos, updates. This rose is also finally getting some light. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I was worried. Honestly, I started this and I was worried, and I'm really happy that I did it.
Worried about?
Well, just that it wouldn't look better, you know? But actually the results speak for themselves.
Why do you think all of this is here? Was it for this?
Well, the trellis initially could have been placed for something else, for roses, or because like here the roses have been placed on the trellis, so maybe there was something. But eventually, I think whatever was under here died because there was not getting enough light.
Really, really nice. Well done. I can never really get excited about change like this, but I think it worked out.
Well, I think at first you were a bit scared. But look at these hedging. The hedging everywhere looks so good now. It's all been neatened up and sharpened up. It looks really, really good. This is what we need to work on still, is getting this rounded softness, but we just have to wait for this to grow out a little bit here. But that will take a little bit of time.
Will the hedge around the arena be like this?
Yeah, this is what I'm thinking to have. Oh yeah, we didn't tell them yet because this is for another video, but they have started with our outdoor arena today. Wait, I can give a sneak peek from far away. Hold on. Sneak peek time. Look at all the hedges here. All the hedges done. The boxes, balls, everything. Very satisfied. But do you guys see that in the distance? It's happening. How do we feel about it?
Exciting. Excited. Very excited.
It's almost like crazy to actually think it's going on.
I just can't believe that this is the last time we'll see it like this. In a week there will be an arena.
I know.
Hopefully.
Let's quickly go and give them a view of the grass with the robot, because I showed them the whole install of the robot mower, and it's been working now for like 1 week, and it's actually been doing an incredible job. I'm so happy with the lines it's making. Here is another view of the after, very clean, very tidy.
The wall is so nice that it's there, don't you think?
Yeah.
Cannot
so
imagine
much
it
detail.
without.
A little walled garden.
But also makes it nice that it's like, I don't know.
I'm very glad when they removed these two barns, because you can still see the entry points of the barns. There was 2 barns here. I'm so glad they left some of these walls.
Really good idea, actually.
All right. Here's a little preview of the arena and our pathway over here. But this is what the lawn has been looking like from then this has only been maintained purely by the Luba 2 from Emotion.
And it's so crazy because I think this was before a bit of an area where we were thinking like, oh, it always looks a bit not messy, but now I feel like this is almost the best looking.
I know, this has turned into like the best looking lawn, and look at these stripes. I mean, it's crazy. It looks so good. And I've actually set it now that it's also maintaining this whole side of the pathway right there.
But we might do like all the other pathways too, I think, in the future.
Yes, we have enough robot mowers now that all of the grass here around the outdoor arena that needs to be maintained, and all of the grass on the outside of the counter track and on the side of the fencing, that's all going to be maintained by the robots. They're going to do a really good job. If any of you guys are interested in getting your hands on any of the Emotion robots, or the Luba 2 specifically, or any of those, I have a link down below. Check them out. I couldn't recommend them more highly. And I'm not speaking just from 1 week of experience. I've owned these robots for 2 years now. So I couldn't recommend them more highly. And actually, we have a few people within our friendship circle who have already gotten them just based on when I initially gave the recommendation, and they're super happy as well. So for any of you guys interested, click the link below. That's everything for now. We are very excited to be showing you guys around and spending another week together. You guys are going to be seeing this outdoor arena come together pretty quick, so do look out for the video. It's going to be a really exciting one. It only takes a week for the arena from the starting process to the finished process.
It's crazy, no?
Yeah, it will not take long, so you guys will be seeing that video pretty soon. But for now, that's everything. It was nice spending the time with you guys again, and we will catch you on the next one.
Thank you.
Bye.